re-review something on my previous channel, Roger Corman, The Student Nurses, the first of 5 nurse movies. Let's check it out. Here's the first nurse we see. Not a cooperative patient. He's eventually subdued by some other doctors and given some shots in the ass.
What is it about the way we handled that patient you don't like?
It was brutal.
There are many things in medicine that are brutal. Give her
1 cc.
10 times the proper dosage. When did you do this?
About an hour.
Look, I'll go check on you. Stay right here.
She made an oopsie. Here's another oopsie. These are all basically nurses in training.
You have a choice, Miss Kovac. Either you lower your skirt, or I'll lower your grade.
We basically focus on 4 nurses. This one takes up with a guy on a motorcycle. We see their love lives as well. They all live together too.
It goes with mine. Good, then you take Sharon's and I can have mine back. No, you take my blouse and I'll keep your scarf. That means that she'll have to give you her blouse back. Yeah, that's right. I guess.
One of the girls is present at a protest that's happening downtown. And when you know, someone gets hurt.
Really suffocated. I assure you, I felt it possible I might not survive.
This woman gets close to a terminal patient.
Well,
This is a revolutionary.
Shapes and sizes. How do I know you're not one?
Because you saw me at the hospital.
So what? I tell you, you tell the hospital tells the pigs. The same thing.
Is Lewis in trouble?
My people are always in trouble.
Why not?
Because a social worker might find out she has a job, take away her welfare. She has 7 kids.
One of the nurses and her man attend a love-in. This was actually a real love-in that was taking place. This woman is going to take some acid, which I believe was in that drink. The 2 of them end up naked on the beach, aciding together. Our nurse hanging out with a revolutionary has a trunk full of guns. Later on, after her acid trip,
Your AZ showed positive.
I'm pregnant.
so she goes to have an abortion.
I wished it weren't there.
Do you always enjoy sex?
Sort of.
Girls just like yourself.
Mrs. Olson from Little House on the Prairie.
Then why not me?
Because the board's afraid that the district attorney will think that they're stretching the law, simply because you're a student here.
She can't get an abortion at the hospital where she works. So she finds someone to give her an abortion at the house where she lives.
What's going on here? We're preparing for surgery. You're kidding. What kind of surgery? Getting an abortion?
She's against it big time.
Not in my bedroom, not in my bed. You go do your butchering somewhere else. No!
Well, the procedure proceeds, but I think she's having an acid flashback. But eventually she comes back to Earth.
Everything's over, babe.
Got to get
One of the
out.
revolutionaries got shot.
A man's got a cop's bullet in him. You want to take him to the hospital, huh? So what, so we'll go to jail? Open up, police. Hey, quiet. Hey, Sanders, get out of here!
Meanwhile, our terminal patient's getting more and more sick.
Churches are supposed to be. I'm not making it rhyme.
It's all right.
Why couldn't it have been somebody else? Somebody who done all the things and then got sick.
She then gets undressed and hops into bed with him. Going out with a bang, perhaps.
Where is he?
suffered a massive hemorrhage on the way to intensive care. He died.
They shot a cop on the way out.
I guess I'll just have to do some target practice.
That means you're not a murderer. Aren't you glad?
I still shot a pig.
But now you complete self-defense.
You know, you're crazy like you always were, Layla.
I suppose you'll never change your rules.
No, I can't.
You've ruined it for me, you know.
What?
Screwing. It was perfect with you.
Hey, Florence,
Thus ends our nurse movie.
In the glove compartment. Want to look? Well, nothing stands still, I guess. You bet your ass, baby.
All right. Let's talk about The Student Nurses. This is a Roger Corman film. This was the first film put out by New World, and that was Roger Corman's company. 1970. It spawned 4 sequels, which I'll have up also very soon. It's basically the story of 4 nurses and what they do. Now, they're supposed to be sexy nurses also, so we see their love lives. They're basically young nurses in training, learning, and each one of them has a story. They tried to set this up as not just be a sex comedy or a sexy drama, but they had to throw some drama in, is what I guess I'm trying to say too. So we see one story about a nurse who falls for a terminal patient, one who falls for this hippie poet guy who she drops acid with, one who gets involved with some revolutionaries, and one who's having an affair with another doctor. So, and the girl who gets the hippie guy, she ends up dropping acid and getting pregnant. Then she has an abortion. She tries to get an abortion at the hospital where she works, but they won't allow it. Catherine McGregor, by the way, you may have recognized her as Mrs. Olsen, Harriet Olsen from Little House on the Prairie. Is the only other thing I've ever seen her in before. Didn't even quite recognize her at first, but it's definitely her. As to the 4 nurses, they're all lovely ladies. I didn't recognize any of them, though. I don't know if they did a whole lot more other than this. I think all of them at least had one topless scene in this movie. There was plenty of nudity in this movie and plenty of sexiness. And the girls were lovely, like I said. So that's really, there's not a whole heck of a lot more going on in this movie than that. Like I said, it spawned 4 sequels. Night Call Nurses, Private Nurses, Candy Stripe Nurses, and one other one I can't remember. Private Duty Nurses, did I say that one? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that's it. So yeah, this first one, The Student Nurses, came out in 1970. The other ones came out in 71, 2, 3, and 4. They just pumped out one of these per year until Candy Stripe, which finished the quintilogy, I guess you could say. None of these movies were related with each other. The other 4 movies are available on a compilation DVD. However, this one here is just by itself, and unfortunately, this is a pricey movie. If you're trying to find this DVD, you're going to pay for it. Last I saw it was in the $60 range. Now, I haven't looked in a few years. I've had this for quite a while, so I haven't been in the market for it, obviously. But I will leave a link to Amazon if it's on there. But again, I suspect if you find this somewhere, you're going to pay a little price for it. So, but what can you do? Anyway, that's it. The Student Nurses. It's an okay film for what it is. Plenty of nudity to tide you over if that's what you're into. And yeah, not bad. So check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know if you've seen this thing, The Student Nurses. Watch it. Bye.